burning. So let's make sure we fight hard and qualify for Titan X. Okay. Good job, everybody. Okay. So we have this next person going to share a little bit about their story, why they're so thankful for WSP. So let's put our hands together and let's listen to Michelle Zhou. Okay, let's give a hand for Michelle. Good job.
Hi,
All right,
Lee.
Michelle. Good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me well?
Yep, we got you.
Okay, perfect. Good morning, WSP. My name is Michelle Zhou, and I'm just so thankful for Alicia for giving me this opportunity to share a little bit about my journey, how I started with WSP, and how this month I've been able to, 7 years later, get to 100K. Never giving up. But if I may share my screen, I would like to share. Let me see if I'm able to. Okay, and then you guys can see my screen, right? Lee, give me a thumbs up, maybe. Perfect, awesome. Thank you so much. Well, yeah. First of all, if it's your first time hearing or seeing me, my name is Michelle Zhou, and I'll just share a little bit about my background. I was born in the U.S., but I lived in Mexico for 10 years. So my childhood, I grew up there. I speak a little bit of Spanish, kind of lost it throughout the years, but I can pretty much understand most of it. And the reason why I lived in the U.S. is because, in Mexico, is because my parents, this is my family here. My parents are restaurant owners. So the moment I was born, all I knew is that restaurants. I grew up in a restaurant, even ever since I was a baby. So my parents would be in the kitchen cooking. I'll be outside in a bed somewhere. And whenever they had time, that's when they took care of me, right? But you can see here, we are a family of 6, mom and dad, and of course my 3 other siblings, so 4 children. And because my parents were business owners, they actually provided, I would say, a very good life for us. They sacrificed a lot, of course, being immigrants, going to Mexico, not having anything, even borrowing money to fly from China to Mexico. It was not easy, but my parents really worked their way up to become business owners. So I guess early on, I kind of saw that it was normal for people to work hard, Monday to Sunday. 365 days a year. Never, ever did I know, Ali, that they took a day off. It wasn't until, back in 10 years ago now, 2013, my dad came to visit here in the US, and he literally landed on a Tuesday, and on Wednesday morning, very sudden, he experienced a heart attack. And after that, before I know it, the next time I saw him, he was in the ICU. He never woke up. 5 days later, he passed on. So it was a very sudden and shocking moment for my whole entire family, especially for myself, because never in my life would I have thought that the first person I'll ever lose, or the first death I'll ever experience at the age of 16 was going to be my own father's death. And I was very close to my dad, even though at the age of 10, so for 6 years, 10 to 16, we didn't grow. We were not together. Me and my siblings were all in the U.S. already, but both my mom and dad were still working, running the restaurants in Mexico. But I kept going. Of course, thankfully I had my siblings, so we kept my mom strong, and my mom made sure she had to be strong for us too. And I think that's one of the reasons why I kind of really looked into opportunities. When I was so prior to joining WSP, I was actually a college student. So that's fast forward into maybe like around age 20 now. And I was working part-time at a bakery, 85 Degrees. And the reason why I even got this part-time job, Lee, is because, again, I felt like I was 19 at the time when I got the first job, which is bakery at the 85 Degrees, is because I saw that, I lost my father, and actually around 2000 and I think 2016. So right before I got my job, my mom experienced a minor stroke. I think that was a true wake-up call. I was like, wow, I lost my dad a few years ago. And if anything happens to my mother, and mind you guys, my mom was still in Mexico by herself. All my siblings are still in the US. We're getting our educations here, working. And so it was really, I think, second time when I saw that I could lose my only remaining parent. I wanted to do something, even though I didn't know how. So around that time, even though for all my life, I'm like, you know what, I think I can survive without working. My parents make pretty decent money, but I went out there and got myself a job. So that's me, working at 85 Degrees back then. And so that's how I joined, because my coworker from 85 Degrees actually introduced me to this organization. And they told me that, hey, Michelle, do you want to learn about, actually, I met my aunt and dudes. They were the ones who presented to me. They were like, hey, Michelle, would you be interested to learn about finances? And I was like, hey, why not, Lee? I was making only $800 a month. And so I was making some money. And in my mind, I'm like, since I'm working part-time, I'm still a student, second year in college, but I think I can get some more education and learn how money works, right? So that's what I did. And from there, I joined WSB. So here's my journey. I joined in December 2016. That's actually the photo of the day I first joined, me and my aunt, and then the person who recruited me back then. And I was a home run, Lee. I got a policy for myself, and I recruited right on the spot. Because now the reason why I got the policy, because I wanted to save for my future. But the reason why I joined is because I remember a dude's telling me or asking me. He was like, you know what? You make about $800, right? A whole month, working about 20 hours a week at the bakery. Why don't you consider joining us, and we will train you, you get licensed, and you can make some part-time income. And I was like, yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt to give it a try. And so I joined, right? And I got licensed around March 2017. So I did the business. I was coachable. I tried to attend the meetings whenever I had the chance back then. I wasn't very strong with meeting mentality back then, kind of like a sometimes meeting attendee. And then, of course, following my trainers and following the system, 2018 April, I used to play around with my hair, so I had like golden hair back then. I became a marketing director in April 2018. And then fast forward, I became full-time in September of 2018 after I graduated from college. So the moment I got my bachelor's in economics, like what Alicia said, I didn't go to corporate America. I came full-time, full force to WSB. But I was sharing to Alicia last week is that it was kind of, I set a trap for myself, actually, because going full-time, imagine having 24 hours now to do WSB. And I'm like, wow, I'm my own boss. I have 24 hours to do WSB. You would think that I'll be more productive, but I would say counterproductive. I actually not procrastinated. I was working. I was just staying busy, but not really being productive. Let's say it that way. So I had all this time. And it was a little bit, this business is always up and downs. So during that time, it was kind of like a little bit of up and down moment. And there came a point, I think a few months after that, after graduating, and I was doing WSB full-time for a while, I was like, you know what, maybe I should go get a part-time job somewhere else. I kind of feel bad. I'm not making too much progress here in WSB. And I feel bad that my family, just kind of sees me hanging out around the house too much. So I'm like, maybe I can work somewhere for half a day and then do WSB. And then, and guess what, Lee? That never happened because I taught myself out of it. I'm like, you know what? If I'm going to work 8 hours for a job somewhere, maybe they're going to pay me $28 an hour or whatnot. I calculated my income versus if I fully, truly put 8 hours in WSB, right? Like actually working, not just sitting around looking at your applications, calling a few numbers to do underwriting, really doing the business. What will I get out of it? So I did the math, and of course, I've made some sales up to that point. So I know what kind of return I'll get at that point. So I did some calculations, and I was like, you know what? I think it's much more worth it if I really, truly work on my WSB business. So that's what we did. I never went to get a job, and of course, just kept running the business, kept running the system. July 2020, that's when I became that was during pandemic time, actually. That's when I got my SMD promotion. And then again, kept moving forward, kept running. So that's back in COVID. So I got my promotion via Zoom. And then January 2022, got my 50,000 watch. And then fast forward to today, November 2023, I got my 100K. But I want people to know that definitely there are a lot of many stories and many hardships and many success stories too in between of all this timeline here. But I actually want to show, this is, I like saying this, I actually doubled my income 4 times in my career here, my 7 years, Lee. And the reason why I think it's funny, because look, my first year, I only made 5,000. So it's pretty easy to double that, right? 5,000, doubling that to 10,000. As you can see, my income was not very, I would say not too amazing. It wasn't like, wow, oh my gosh, you made so much money at the beginning. But how I saw it and the reason why I stayed, right? Alicia was asking me, why did you choose to stay? You have a degree, you could have gone somewhere else. The moment I came into WSP, I actually saw myself getting like another business degree. or a finance degree. So I saw myself, give myself 4 years, right, to learn the system. Actually, coach would always say, to know if somebody's real in the business, it's 5 years. So even give myself 4 or 5 years. And if you look at here, right, 5,000, 10,000, 25,000, 26,000. So if you combine that, that's about like what, 60 some thousand or so within my first 4 years. When you go to college, right, whether you go get a nurse degree, nurse degree or nursing degree, or even a doctor degree or pharmacy and all that, you have to pay. You have to pay a tuition. And in my mind here was, I get to learn. I don't really have to pay tuition. I mean, I pay my time, right? That's what I have to pay the price for, but I still get paid. So I'm going to getting my business degree here, learning finances, but I also get paid. And of course, as I grew, as I became more confident and had more knowledge about the business, even on the business side, psychology too. I think that's a lot on this business. You can see my income has really increased, and it's exponential. And we say this all the time, right, to people. In business, it might be very slow at the beginning, but when you grow, it really is exponential. And actually, even next year, I'm looking to cross more than double 100K. That's really the goal. And I'm very confident with the system, with the GX program that we have now. I can definitely make that happen with the team and the leadership that we have, right? And so, of course, WSP style, I want to also share a little bit about my financial foundation. Not only have I been able to slowly, consistently grow my income, but I've been able to really build my financial foundation. I think this really is something that where I'm very proud to say that I've been able to get out of a not so good situation to a much better one. And we're helping families every single day do the same thing. So proper protection. As a 20-year-old college student, I didn't know what life insurance was, so had nothing. When it came to debts, I had about $30,000 in debt at 20. Emergency funds, 0. Investments, 0. And then with the proper protection, up to date now, about $1.8 million on my personal life. I tell my family all the time, like, okay, if I pass away, you cry for one day, but each of you are going to get about $500,000, right? That's how much I love you. But I mean, I'm very proud of that protection, because some people always think that young people don't need it. But again, if you truly understand how proper protection works, it's the best time to get it when you're young, right? And there's so many things that you can benefit from that. Debt, I have no bad debt now. The $30,000 debt, I was able to clear that off after 4 years. So by the time I turned 24, I was able to clear that off. Thanks to the workshops, and of course for my aunt and dudes holding me accountable. And then emergency funds, have about 12 months worth of emergency funds saved up. And of course, in my investments, I'm constantly trying to grow that to achieve my goals. And of course, I want to be a good example to my team and to the people that we speak to as well. I don't want to just tell people save money, invest money, but I don't practice what I preach, right? So I always want to be leading from example, even with our financial foundation. Not only have I been able to build a solid financial foundation, make good income, save good income, I would say, pay off lots of debts, but traveling the world with WSP has really not only stretched my vision, but it has, I think, even stretched my family's vision. So throughout the 7 years that I've been here now, these are all the different countries that I've traveled to with WSP, actually. So I joined December 2016, and the trip to Italy was April. So literally like few months after, I think 1 month after getting licensed, my aunt was like, hey, you want to go to Italy? I said yes, and I think they were able to add me last minute. So I went to Italy by myself, Vietnam 2018. I was able to bring my mom, so that's my mom there in the picture, and me with short hair back then. And then fast forward to Israel 2019, I brought you can see my sisters there, and also I have my cousin there, my mom is there, and of course our team members. And then to Portugal, COVID 2020, 2021, we didn't travel. Then fast forward to Portugal and Spain, 2022, went to Portugal, Spain, and actually even London. We were able to bring my mom to see London as well. Then in Egypt, last year, 2022, we were there with my sister. And of course, you see Alicia and the team. And then this year, right, Thailand, 2023, I brought my sister again. My cousin was there with us. We brought some friends. We brought the team there. I think traveling, actually, I'm Chinese, so most Chinese people would see traveling as a way of, as like a waste of money, even up to this day. Some of my relatives say that, oh, Michelle, you make money, but you spend everything traveling. But I actually deep down believe, Ali, that it is necessary for people to travel. Again, not only have not only do you stretch your vision, but I actually end up working even harder because I know what kind of lifestyle I want to maintain. I want to not only me go on these trips, but I want to be able to one day, I haven't brought my grandma to one of these trips, right? Hopefully the next trip that we go to, the weather will be good enough for her. She's 82 now. So even my, other people that are very important, dear to my life, I want to be able to bring them to see the world. And traveling, I believe that it's, again, you can learn so much. I think Coach is so right when he says that you can learn so much when it comes to traveling compared to just a traditional education, traditional school. I've learned a lot. I've learned to be more grateful. I've learned to be more giving and even understanding to people within our team and even those outside of the country. And so I really thank WSP and the Nguyen family for doing this because I know it's not easy. I've tried planning trips from small teams like 30, 40, 50 people. It's a lot of work. And so we're talking about 3,000 plus people in another country. It's a very, very big operation. So we don't take it for granted. Alicia, Coach, and Nguyen family and WSP, all the staff that are in charge of doing this. Every time we go on a trip, I'm really, really thankful for that. And I know that we want to bring more families because, again, we want to teach people how to live a better life so that they can do better for their families and even their communities, right? Last but not least, I want to share here, of course, not only am I here to build myself, but more importantly, and what makes me so happy and my heart so full every single day is because we're building a team and we're building a family. This is a picture from Hawaii 2017. So that's me, Ma'an and Dude, Stella, and the person who recruited me, Nancy. You can see it was only 5 of us back in 2017. And just 3 weeks ago, right, we were able to bring 51 of our team members to Hawaii. And again, many of these people are MDs, are generals, are leaders. Not only did they become team members, clients, many started out as clients, then team members. Now they're really very focused in the business, but they've become family. And I think that's something that I really am so thankful for. It's something that I've never thought I would get this opportunity to meet so many people from different backgrounds, different ethnicities, but we all bond through one cause. We care about each other. We care about other people. And last but not least, I want to thank my leaders, Ma'an and Dudes. I think without them, I don't know where I'll be in life in general. They've taught me a lot about this business, but more importantly, they always teach me about how to live, to the things to do, even my mistakes. I'm making mistakes every single day. Actually, I just sent them drop them off at the airport yesterday. They're back in California. But we always talk about what I love about them is that they're not afraid to tell me what I'm doing wrong. And I'm not afraid to listen to my failures and mistakes. That's how we learn. And so I'm thankful for them, for their guidance throughout the 7 years. At the beginning, Lee, I would go to their house, cry to them all the time. I actually wonder what was going on in their mind. I mean, like, oh my God, this 20-year-old just comes to my house and cries and complains about everything. Right. So I'm thankful for their patience throughout the years. Of course, a wonderful team. I have amazing team members. They're just, I could not have reached all these goals without them. And I know that I'm very confident and I really commit to help them reach their goals as well as we work together hand in hand. And of course, WSP community throughout all these years, every single individual here, whether it be even here in Seattle Financial Center or in other offices, if you're speaking and I'm always in the meetings, I've learned from you and everything that I've learned, I really try to apply it, right? Last but not least, Coach and Nguyen family, I really thank you guys for paving the way, being a great example. Every single day, I tell my sister, I'm like, man, I love Coach so much. I love the Nguyen family so much. I want to be like them. I want to be as giving as them. I want to be as big as them in the future. And I know that I can get there because Coach has shown us. He joined at 36 years old, Lee, but I joined at 20. So in my mind, I'm like, I have 16 years, right, ahead of Coach. And so I want to be able to not only make him proud, but I want to make my family proud too, show them that with hard work, with dedication, and if you're coachable and if you're willing to make mistakes and stumble forward, stay confused, I think anything is possible here in WSP. So that's just a little bit about my sharing, my journey here. Thank you.
All right. Hey, Michelle, I just want to jump in here and ask you a few questions that are on a lot of people's mind, especially when it comes to young people. The first question I have is most people, when they graduate from school, they want to go work for a prestigious company, and they want to work for somewhere that has a big brand name that gives them free food and unlimited PTO, all the fancy words right now. What made you want to do WSB right after you graduated college?
Well, Alicia, first of all, I get free food all the time, and they cook for me all the time, right? But yeah, about joining a prestigious, I guess, corporate America after graduating. Well, number one, I saw working at the bakery, and of course, I came across some people who were working in corporate America already. I saw that it wasn't, you have to work hard anywhere, whether it be corporate America, whether it be in WSP. And so because I was already in WSP, I guess in my mind, I was like, okay, let me just keep doing it. And I love the community here. First of all, I think for me, I just love the crowd. That's what kept me going. But because I was also getting results, again, I was able to make some good income. My income never dropped. It just slowly kept going up. So I'm like, you know what? I'm making income here. It's not like I'm not making any money. So I actually, maybe because now that I know WSB for 7 years now, I think WSB and WG is a very, very prestigious cause and a company and an organization. I do believe that people just don't know what's out there. And again, it's something very new, entrepreneurship, being self-employed. And the work that we do, it's very new, it's very different. But I do believe in the near future, Alicia, this will be the norm. That's how I see it.
But can
just
you share
like
an example
how
of your sister in Hawaii last 2 weeks ago with us?
Oh yeah, yes. That's yeah. Look, just an example. Actually, one of the reasons why I quit my job. So when did I quit my job, guys, at 85 degrees? I think it was 4 months after I got licensed. So it was around June, July of 2017. I quit my job at 85 degrees. And one of the reasons being, they were giving me a hard time because I needed to go to Hawaii. And they're like, oh, Michelle, you're taking so many days off. You just came back from a convention, da, 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 da. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me just put my 2 weeks in because I'm going to be busy. So actually, I didn't even put my 2 weeks because I put my 2 weeks in, Alicia, but I was going to be gone for 2 weeks. So technically, I quit on the spot. So, and then the reason why, again, I felt like I was so constricted. And my sister, I brought her to Hawaii a few weeks ago. And as soon as we came back from Hawaii, she's an accountant. She works for a tech company. As soon as we came back, literally the day that she landed, she got a text from her, I think, manager or supervisor saying that, hey, Emily, next time, can you not take a day off during those days? You're an accountant. You got to close the books. Those are the busiest days. And actually, my sister got so kind of annoyed. She was like, you know what? I was working throughout the whole trip. I was working. Actually, when I was driving around Hawaii, Alicia, my sister had her laptop in the car working. And even in the airport, in the airplane, the whole flight back, she was working. So that's just one example of the flexibility and the freedom that you don't get in corporate America. Somebody is always in control of your future. And so in my mind, I'm like, if you just really become disciplined and really have a little bit more control of your day too, you can take full control of your future. Like for me right now, I always tell people the beauty of WSP is that tomorrow, if you have an event, Alicia, you call for an emergency in-person meeting in Gold Street, I'm going to book my flight and I'll be able to fly there without asking anybody, hey, can I get the day off? So I think that's one of the things that has really, again, I wish people could experience more of what we experience here in WSP.
Good. What about your family, though? I mean, I'm sure I was so scared of your mom the first time I met her because, I know she sent you to school here. She's in Mexico, and she probably same thing. Family wants you to go. She thinks that she's working hard in Mexico, send you to America to get a degree, get a good job, etc. And here you join this, in her eyes, this insurance thing or whatnot. The family support you right away, and what are some of the things they say to you, and what about now?
Yeah, actually, at the very beginning when I first joined, I've shared this a couple of times in like smaller events. Actually, all my tears, guys, at the beginning, I used to be a crybaby. I don't cry as easily now, but I used to cry so easily. And because one of the reasons, well, actually, the main reason was because of my family. I love my family, and my family loves me. And that's why their words really would impact me. Whatever they say, it really, it's heavy for me, whatever they say. And so a good thing my mom was fairly supportive, Alicia. She didn't know how to support, but she was just like, okay, just go try it. But some of my like auntie, uncles, distant relatives and even some of my siblings, they kind of gave me harder time. They'll say very harsh words like, oh, you just got a college degree. Why are you joining this pyramid scheme? It's a scam. Those people going on stage making 500,000, 1 million. It's a script. They're all in it together. It's fake. Where do you see the money? And then they'll say things like, oh, I've been in the US 30 years now. I've tried that company before. It doesn't work. Not even that company. They just say companies like that, right? And so at the very beginning, it was really tough. And the reason why it hurt so much, Alicia, because I was very, very focused and very serious about WSB. I love WSB. I love the cost that we did. And in my mind, I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was not scamming people. I was not stealing people's money. We were going out there and spending a lot of our time educating people, helping people. But again, they didn't see it. So I knew from the beginning, and I think Ma and this really helped me on this too, is that you also need to know and learn as an individual who to listen to and who not to listen to. You can listen to them, but what words to follow, right? So I listen to everybody, Alicia, but I don't follow everybody. I learn things from certain people, learn what not to do. So I've learned, that's why they say there's a quote, you can even learn from a fool, right? So I'm always open to that. I respect and love my family. And actually fast forward today, my whole entire family supports me a lot. And of course, they've seen the things that we've been able to do, traveling. I've been able to support myself all these years. So since I got a job at 85 Degrees, I've paid for everything myself, my car insurances, everything that's under my name. I even pay rent back at home in California. I don't want to live for free at home. I want to also give myself responsibilities so that I go out there and work as well. But yeah, my family, they now ask me to help their daughters with savings, investments, and even recruiting them to join me. But I think with time, I'll get them.
Awesome. Okay, my last question is all the young people always say, well, my market's hard because people in their 20s, they don't want to save money. And, and then even with older people, they feel insecure too because they don't want to approach older people because they say that, oh, they look at me like a kid. They don't think I'm credible. I want to know how you handled that over the years.
At the very beginning, Alicia, yes, absolutely. I mean, I was only 20 years old, still a college student. I don't think people would give me $50,000, $100,000 to do an annuity rollover, right? They're gonna be like, you do you even know how, have you ever paid any bills yourself? So at the very, very beginning, I would say it's very important, even if you're an adult, but if you're starting off in WSB, I think it's very crucial for you to go out with a trainer because you, at the moment, don't have a lot of credibility. The credibility will come from the trainer. So go out with the trainer, and that's what I did. I went out with my aunt and dudes all the time at the very beginning, and throughout that process, I learned, and also I've been able to really duplicate them. But as I, kind of grew throughout the years in age and also in knowledge, slowly I started presenting by myself to my clients. That didn't matter how old they were at that point, whether it's a 50-year-old client, 60-year-old, or a 20-year-old client sitting in front of me. I knew that I had the knowledge already to be able to teach them the things that they don't have. And the reason why I'm very confident these days when it comes to talking to everybody, because again, I know that WSB would deliver for them, whether it be helping them get rid of their debts. And I tell them, WSB and the workshops has been able to help me. So I always try to be relatable to them. I don't want to show them that, oh my gosh, we're so good. I want to show them that, hey, I was in debt too. I'm just a normal person who needed help getting out of debt. So we can help you also. I didn't have emergency funds, didn't have investments. But now we do, and we can help you do that as well. So I think even these days, I would like to think that I still look young and feel young at 27. But I don't feel intimidated. I think that's the word I'm trying to look for. I'm not intimidated by the age and the crowd that we see, because of course, throughout the years, I've also worked on honing my skills, making sure I really do my work, my homework on the side to make sure when I speak to clients, I'm really saying the right things about different solutions or products and the concepts. So that's how I've been able to kind of be a more independent trainer to this today.
So last question, and this transitions perfectly to our topic later about 30-day relentless. Share the story about, the Saving Your Future book, and you attended a webinar, and there was a call to action, and before that, that's probably the year, if you see on the chart, that she make only like 10, 20,000, something like that, and what you see the growth is because of this story. Can you share with everyone?
Yeah, so actually, maybe I can do a bit of backstory of why I took that challenge. So like everybody else, when I started this business, I started with my warm market. So I talked to my broke college students. Myself, I was a broke college student. So that was my market, guys. Broke college student, we're young, we don't have money. So what can we really do? But thankfully, I had 1 or 2 people join. They joined and then quit after a week. But hey, it's okay. Even though they quit after a week of joining, it gave me hope that, hey, people actually want to join or are willing to join. So that kind of kept me going. And so after going through my my friends group, my warm market, I went to my family, my relatives, talked to them, made a few sales here and there. But at some point, I kind of quote ran out of my own market, or I just kind of stopped talking to my own market. But because I wanted to do this business so badly, and Alicia, I wanted it to succeed so bad, and I wanted to just do something so that at least I'm moving forward. Even though it's very slow, I wanted to do something. So what I used to do a lot back in Southern California, I used to do a lot of cold market prospecting. So I would listen. I'm always after a point in my career, actually, this is just a random shout out, but Mark Nguyen, there's a Facebook video, a YouTube video on Facebook, because I wanted to do the business so much. So there's a video on YouTube where he talks about meeting mentality. And actually, after watching that video, guys, I made a decision. I'll never miss a single meeting. So thanks to him, I actually developed that mentality. So unless there's an emergency, I usually never miss a meeting. But from there, throughout all the webinars, I've learned that, you know what, you can go out there and have kind of like a challenge, a commitment to yourself, maybe get 3 numbers a day, maybe get 3 survey cards a day. And so that's what I did. So if you go back to my house in California right now, I have like 50 to 100 lead survey cards from cold market. But the problem is I never followed up. I just got the numbers. So again, not very good. But again, it kept me going because I was doing something. I just wanted to make sure that I was still thinking and doing the business. And in the process of me doing that, not a lot of results. So there was another webinar to talk about, okay, now let's do a challenge in the next, every single day for the next few weeks. Can you share 3 blue books a day? So I remember very vividly, that was a Tuesday. I shared 2 blue books. And by the time I got home, I had 1 more blue book to share. So I was at home already. So I'm like, you know what, Michelle? Wow, are you going to break this promise? Are you just going to share 2? Your goal is to share 3 every single day. So if I go back home, Lee, I would have to find a way to, I don't know, maybe have some dinner and then go back out at night and then share my 3rd book, right? If I want to feel good about myself, about keeping my words to myself. And so what I did actually before going into the house, I parked my car, got out of the car. My next door neighbor was in his yard doing yard work. And so what I did, I was like, my next door neighbors, I've talked to them before, and I had a blue book in my car. So I got that blue book, Vikram, and I walked over, I talked to him. That was a Tuesday. Saturday, I had a home PPM. They came to my home PPM on Saturday, guys. And that's Mr. David and Dr. Patricia, the couple. And from there, we got the whole entire Canyon community now. That's how I became an MD. That's how I got my 50K. That's how I became an SMD. That's how I hit my 100K. Through that Canyon community, we have over, I think, almost 10 MDs now in the Canyon community because of that one contact. And so I don't know, Alicia, I don't know if it's, if I just got lucky that day, or if finally, after 50 to 100 survey cards of me wanting it so bad, maybe God heard me and gave it to me. But yeah, that's what happened. And that's really where the explosion came. And I'm so thankful that right now, actually, all our strong leaders, many of them are from that community today. And I know some of them are in Diamond Bar right now, back in SoCal. So yeah, so keep your words to yourself very important. And from there, I would say my life changed completely because of that encounter.
Great job. And for the rest of WSB community, this is proof that as long as whoever you recruit, no matter what age, but with meeting mentality, we can build everybody. All right. Thanks so much, Michelle. Back to you, Lee.
Thank you.